Shabbat Shalom, may this Dvar Torah be in merit of the safe and speedy return of Daniel Shimon ben Sharon. Our Parashat Mishpatim is a parasha rich in mitzvot, over 50 mitzvot, most of them mitzvot bein Adam lechavero, and most of them are new to us, we haven't heard about them before. However, there is one mitzvah that seems very familiar, the reason being that we read about it just last week in Matan Torah, in Masechet Dibrot, and that is the mitzvah of Shabbat. Why is Shabbat mentioned again? But even more so, why are there two reasons given to why we keep Shabbat? If we look at Parashat Mishpatim, we see that the reason given is that Leman yanuach shorcha v'chamorecha v'inafesh ben amatecha v'hager. Why do we keep Shabbat? So that our animals and our slaves, those less fortunate than us, can also have a day of rest. Something, maybe social justice, a moral reason. However, when we revisit Parashat Yitro, in Aseret HaDibrot, the reason is completely different. What is the reason given then? כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, את הים ואת כל אשר בם, וינח ביום השביעי. על כן ברך אדוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו. The mitzvah of Shabbat seems to be a ben adam lamakom, a mitzvah given because we must remember that God created the world in 6 days, but rested on the seventh. And we have to resemble God and rest as well. Remember that He is the Creator, the Almighty One, and we must too rest on Shabbat. Two different reasons, two different understandings of Shabbat. What is going on here? Furthermore, if you read Parashat Vayitchanan, where we revisit and Moshe retells the story of Aseret HaDibrot, he actually refers to the time of Shabbat, the reason of Shabbat, that is given in Parashat Mishpatim, in our parasha, something of moral justice, of a civil rights Shabbat. And we could revisit that now as well, or visit that as well. למען ינוח עבדך ואמתך כמוך וזכרת כי עבד היית בארץ מצרים ויוציאך אדוני אלוהיך משם ביד חזקה ובזרוע נטויה על כן ציווך אדוני אלוהיך לעשות את יום השבת. You must give your slaves to rest because you too have been a slave in Egypt and you know what it is like, and therefore you must too give a rest to your slaves and animals. So what's going on here? Why the double meaning? And are there multiple reasons? What is happening here? I heard from my rabbi, Rav Amnon Bazak, a very, very, very compelling explanation. Rav Bazak says there are multi-levels, different layers of Shabbat. There are a few reasons, mainly two, of why Hashem commanded us to keep Shabbat. The first, when Bnei Israel just exit Egypt, all they're capable of comprehending, all they're capable of being Mekabel, is the idea that Shabbat is a Shabbat. There is a God. There is a God, that He is Hashem, not the Egyptian gods, not any other God. Hashem is the God, and you must keep Shabbat because you accept Hashem as your God, the Almighty, the one that created the universe. However, when Bnei Israel are progressing, and even in Parashat Mishpatim, when they're hearing about all the mitzvot of how to construct society, a Am Kadosh, Mamlechet Kohanim v'Goy Kadosh, they're already starting to get used to the fact that we have to conduct a society with justice and give people the element of resting. And when they're about to enter Eretz Yisrael, about to go into Eretz Yisrael, right before the entrance, when Moshe repeats Aseret HaDibrot, Moshe's focus is mainly on the society, because Bnei Israel is about to become a sovereign nation in Eretz Yisrael. And he tells them, Shabbat that you heard of, yes, its paramount foundation is between Adam Lamakom, is remembering God as the Almighty One. But you should know that when you're about to enter Eretz Yisrael, you must keep Shabbat, because Shabbat has social justice in it as an element, as also a foundation of Shabbat. You have to give the people that are less fortunate, the slaves, the animals that can't speak for themselves, you have to give them the right, the opportunity to rest also in Shabbat. So it's not either or, it's rather both. Shabbat is ben adam lamakom, and Shabbat is ben adam lechavero. In these very challenging times, I think the best blessing we can get, aside from requesting to have all our hostages return and our soldiers win the victory and return safely, is that we will continue to stick to these beliefs, to our values of a Mamlechet Kohanim v'Goy Kadosh, and may Hashem give us the zchut and merit to continue to build our country on the values of justice, tzedek, musar, and yirat Hashem. Shabbat Shalom.